Oh no! The Avengers are here to defeat Thanos. But Thanos can't face the Avengers looking like this. You must pop the Infinity Stones out of Thanos so he can face the Avengers with clear skin. It pops.
Cool.
It oozes.
Gross.
It goops.
Whoa.
Help Thanos regain his confidence so he can destroy the universe. It's the all-new Thanos Zit Popper. Character and water beads each sold separately.
I've recently been self-diagnosed with ADHD, and one of the great pleasures for my brain is to fidget with anything and everything I can get my hands on. Clicking pens, breaking pens, pulling the skateboard off my rubber Killwa keychain, biting my fingernails, and lastly, popping anything that even slightly resembles a zit. And that's how I got the idea to make my own popping fidget toy. I don't want to call it a pimple-popping fidget toy because I think that sounds too gross, and it's too similar to what's already on the market. I don't know if you guys have seen these blocks of flesh. You basically fill it with a disgusting pussy fluid, and then you squeeze it out. Now, before we get started, I gotta buy some of these flesh toys to see if there's more here than meets the eye. So I got 3 versions. One of them's a square, another one's a nose, and the other one is something I can't show on YouTube, but I'm sure your imagination can figure it out. I'm not sure why this particular body part would have pimples on it. All 3 toys came with a vial of an oily substance, which, come to find out, is just literally oil. I have to admit it was fun to play with. It's not, a 10 out of 10 product, but it was satisfying, I'll give it that. The major downside with it is once you're done squeezing this thing out, you look like a little messy toddler who's playing in his food. What I've learned from playing with these is that ours needs to be a fun shape, something other than a block. It needs to be less messy, and I think we need to make ours less realistic. Because this thing feels like it belongs in a Spirit Halloween. It feels like a horror prop, which I don't think is ideal. My idea is to ditch the block shape, and we're gonna go with something fun, like a human face. And as far as replacing the oil, I'm going with something a lot more solid and less messy. So I bought this variety pack of beautiful pearl beads. I mean, it's creepy, but it's a good fit. I didn't anticipate popping eyes out. It is kind of fun just to make some different faces. This is sort of fed up with life kind of face. That's fetal alcohol syndrome face. Hey guys, quit picking on me. Quit picking on me because I'm British. Oh. Oh. I mean, I played with this thing for a while, trying to figure out what is exactly satisfying. Is this giving me the effect that I want it to? Okay, it's a little harder to get these in than I anticipated. Kind of worries me about how hard it's going to be to get them out. I can feel it. Oh, okay. It ejected. Alright, that one's maybe a little too deep to get out. Oh, fuck. Alright, that's not too bad. I was experiencing probably a 5 out of 10 on the satisfaction scale. It was fun, fishing the beads out of the holes, but the moments that were the most fun were when the beads actually popped out. But that only happened 25% of the time. I needed to think of a better way of getting that pop feeling. It's a similar feeling with my Among Us toy, where it's kind of got an on and an off state. So I attempted to jumpstart my brain by buying a box of these poppets. Those things that you throw at the ground and they explode. I mean, I'm not going to say it's wrong, but it's certainly a much more high-octane way of popping a zit. So the poppets weren't working out great, and it was obviously leaving burn marks in all of the silicone products. I was getting very hopeless and desperate when one night I was searching for different types of beads to pop out of this thing, and I came across water beads. It's like, water beads? Those are Orbeez. Wait a fucking minute. Orbeez are like synthetic zits. That's perfect. They grow with water. I can put those in a mold, and they will grow with time. Obviously, you have to feed them some water, so it's a little bit like a chia pet. You have to do some waiting, but that's perfect. Now, are the water beads really the solution? I don't know. I'm just like, well, it makes sense in my brain. Let's get a little thing of Orbeez and do more experimenting. I also bought a bag of big water beads, which grow, I don't know, 5 times as big as the regular ones. At this point, I was avoiding making more faces because it was a big waste of silicone. So I kept testing with different sized flesh blocks. Oh, it's like a toadstool. The big ones are also very fragile, so if you squeeze them a little bit, oh, they just kind of, they really burst. They really bust. The final big squeeze. This looks, ooh, that was pretty good. Ooh, made a big snapping sound when it went back in there. Whoa, locks in place. This one I like. I think this one and this one look the best. Like visually, they look like overloaded zits. That's pretty good. That's also pretty good. Okay, that wasn't bad. I would say that these are the 2 rows that were the most successful. I'll go on the computer. I'll extract their stats. I'll extract the stats of these holes, and we'll figure it out. At this point in the video, I'm feeling very happy because the Orbeez are working, but we have a problem. I'd been making all the prototypes using a flesh-toned pigment, which goes against my philosophy of not making this thing realistic. So we gotta choose a new color, a color that isn't represented by the human race. So looking at these water beads, I'm getting a lot of pastels. They're obviously transparent. They almost look like little gems. And when I look at these little gems, all I can think of is infinity stones. Thanos, you're gonna become a little stimming toy for all the Marvel heads out there. The place where I get these dyes has a very limited color selection, so I got blue and red. If my knowledge is correct, that would make purple. I'm just gonna say right now, I don't care if it's perfect. It doesn't need to be. It just needs to function. And if it works out, maybe Marvel will be impressed and they'll hit me up at iDubbbzbusiness@gmail.com, and maybe they'll want to give me a monthly royalty check. This is the direction the world's going, by the way, Disney, Marvel. It's not going in like a cool direction, it's going in this direction. We're gonna be making more of these. Me and the rest of the United States citizens in China, we're gonna be making more fidget toys. Don't think that this is like, oh, it's weird. Weird, pimple popping Thanos? That's not cool. We only want to do cool things like Baby Groot and Baby Yoda. That's what kids want, and that's kind of cool and approachable to everyone. No, this is approachable. Everyone's got acne, world's toughest problem, I've heard, right under public speaking. All right, I've opened up, you know, what parts I could, but I can't see deep down in there, and if I just willy-nilly rip it out, that little thin membrane parts that I want to kind of take care of, they're going to rip open and not be very effective. So I'm gonna take this home, and I'm gonna hit it with a hammer. That way I don't rip everything up. Okay, come on. This is a face cannon. This looks pretty good. Shit. Here's one on his lip. We will get him cleaned up, we'll get him washed up, and then we'll fill his face with Orbeez. I think that turned out pretty well. He's got a couple of, I don't know what you call these, scars, unfortunately. But, you know, no one has a perfect face. You know, it's pretty nice. Some of these pockets make it quite easy for you to just put the Orbeez back in there. This makes it look like an alien creature on an operating room table. If you're looking for like a different sensation or different experience, you can do this. Press it a little bit, and when you press it a little bit, you get this oozing texture. And you maybe make the hole a little bit deeper. But look at that. It's fucking infinity juice. Infinity pus. I'm oddly proud of the Thanos prototype because I finally figured out what size and shape
these like little zit cavities need to be, I was like beating my head against a wall trying to figure out, okay, so just make it a sphere. But that wouldn't work. The Orbeez would only grow as big as the cavity that you put them in. But finally, I realized that a compressed spheroid is the correct shape that sort of allows the Orby to grow bigger and like press up against the top layer of skin.
I still needed to run a few tests before making a final product, so I made more flesh blocks, but this time I used different colors. This one, now that I'm looking at compared to the other two, it looks a little bit more pink, but whatever. I think this is a pretty accurate Thanos color. What do you guys think? Did we achieve greatness? We at least achieved greatness in that this one has, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has 20 holes. Some of these holes, like that area right there, that's split open. But a lot of them are good. I would say it's about half and half. All right, it's all loaded up. Again, it's not perfect, but look at that. You got some elevation there. Oh, it feels like a preteen's back. Yeah, for half of them, I'll give them the ooze treatment. Now we can jump back and forth depending on what flavor we're looking for. All right, here we go. It's perfect. It's perfect. Oh, that one actually had a little extra on it. Nice. Okay. Man, Thanos, you do be having a dirty back. I'm gonna save you, Thanos. Yes. Loki has infected you with all sorts of disgusting pustules, Thanos. Thanos, you have been purged. I mean, purple alien, you have been purged. You are free to roam the nether with a purified back.
I've also decided to make a glow-in-the-dark version. Making it glow-in-the-dark didn't really make it that much more fun, but, you know, you can find it if you turn off the lights.
Now we're at the point in the video where I feel like I could give you guys a final product. We've seen all the different, mold versions. I feel like Thanos was probably the best one. So we're gonna do another Thanos, but this time, we're not gonna smash the mold with a hammer when we're done with it. Instead, I'm going to stick it in the oven, and we're gonna bake it. Okay, so baking it in the oven was a bad idea. Also, boiling it was a bad idea. I mean, these ideas weren't any worse than hitting it with a hammer, but I definitely should have focused more on getting a better mold material. So he is better. He's still not perfect, but I'll take it. Here's the old and new version. The old one looks a little bit more flashy. I actually think I'm going to use it for the thumbnail, but the new one performs better. These ones sort of like fall out because they're kind of just on the surface. But yeah, this one's much better, and I will demonstrate it. Oh, yes, and that is like full size, which is good. All these other ones are actually kind of small. Oh, no, there is one in here. I haven't broken up any of these. Nice. Alright, for this last one. Alright, is that all of them? Oh, here's one. Alright. Thank you, Thanos, for your sacrifice. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I know this was an odd video to click on, but I'm glad that you made it this far. If you want to check out any of the other content I'm working on, we got a series called The Hot Seat. Pop on over there, watch some of the videos, and let us know what you think. Toodles!